Titans and the San Diego Chargers. Kevin Harlan with Dan Fouts, and on our sideline today, Scott Kaplan. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. It's a 75-degree day. It's a perfect day for football, with the Tennessee Titans 4 up and 4 down against the 3-5 San Diego Chargers. They have the flip of the coin. The Chargers have won. They will receive. Deep back, they've got Isaiah Burse along with wide receiver Griff Whalen. The Tennessee Titans have won 3 of 4. The San Diego Chargers have won 2 of 3. It's San Diego and Tennessee, and we are underway in Southern California. Out of the end zone, touchback. It'll go to the 25-yard line with the 1st and 10. Which, Dan, brings us to quarterback Phillip Rivers. Had a career season last year and a very consistent beginning to this season before struggling last week at Denver.
Yeah, you know, the Chargers have scored on 5 of their opening drives in the NFL. That's first in the NFL. He told me yesterday that important today, facing this Dick LeBeau style of defense, you got to stay out of 3rd and longs. His goal is to have 3rd and 5 or less, and they must ID Brian Orakpo every play because he moves around and is such a fierce pass rusher.
And leads Tennessee with 7 sacks. Here we go. First play of the game, 1st and 10.
390!
With a handoff to Melvin Gordon, the second-year back out of Wisconsin, drilled pretty hard right off the bat. Williamson and Stafford make the stop, gain of a yard. And Slauson grades the highest of this group on the offensive line, best with the run. Schwenke replacing Spain today. And we see running back Melvin Gordon. He right now off 111 yards last week against Denver, the 7th leading rusher in the league. Tight end Hunter Henry is out. Running back Dexter McCluster, a former Titan, he is gone. Broke his arm yesterday, moving furniture at his home. 2nd down 9. And they go up the middle with a quick throw. And it's grabbed in the play by Inman, who is brought down by Searcy and McCourty with a gain of 5. They take it to the 31. Tennessee. Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator. Casey and Klug on the line. Very good with pressure. Williamson has already made the tackle. He rarely misses a tackle playing inside. Pass coverage, an area of concern. They do welcome back Parrish Cox, back from concussion protocol. 3rd and 4.
Hey, let me go load it. Load it. Load it. Load it. Set. Okay, collect 99. Let's go. Done.
The block by Dunlap, they get it off to Antonio Gates. Oh, with a nifty move, getting by Casey, then tripped up near the 48-yard line. A catch and run of 17. That is a San Diego 1st down at their 48-yard line.
22 catches now in the season for the future Hall of Famer. 866 because of moves like that. Got the isolation against Damian Stafford. A pivot route to the outside. He's still wide open. He gets the Chargers' first down to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Had a touchdown reception last week in Denver. Here's a 1st and 10.
You got to dig it, Travis.
It's Gordon right here, bouncing outside, and jumping on him was Orakpo, former Washington Redskin linebacker. Gain of 5. They take it down to the 47-yard line of Tennessee.
And going back to that 3rd down again, the key was it was 3rd and medium, and now we've got an injury timeout.
Welcoming our new audience to San Diego, that's Brian Orakpo, who is down. He just made the tackle. The opening kickoff was taken by the Chargers, and the big play, Dan, for San Diego coming in at 3 and 5 was a pass completion to wide to tight end Antonio Gates for 17 yards, and the first drive of the game has the Chargers into Tennessee territory.
Now this is a big injury. If Orakpo can't go, Kevin, obviously he's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL with 7 sacks on the season. But the combination with him on one side and Derek Morgan on the other with 5.5 sacks, good against the run too, setting the edge and putting pressure on the quarterback, and he is still being attended to on the field here.
The Tennessee Titans winning last week. They have won 3 of 4 coming in, 4 and 4, and Dan, a win today for Tennessee And they come to within a half game of Idle and first place Houston.
Yeah, they're just brimming with confidence. We met with them yesterday, and each guy, you know, they now feel that they expect to win instead of going to a game hoping to win.
Welcome again, a new audience here to San Diego. The 3-5 Chargers getting the ball first against the 4-4 Tennessee Titans. San Diego comes in 3 games in back of Oakland in Denver. They will play tonight in the Bay Area. It is a 2nd down and 5 for Rivers.
Come you win! Set! 390! Behind!
Fake to Gordon, the block by Dunlap, and he goes with a quick slant caught by Tyrell Williams. He picks up 12. He's hit by McCourty. He takes it down to the 35-yard line of Tennessee, and that's a first down.
Well, with all the injuries to the Charger wide receivers, Tyrell Williams, his 2nd year out of Western Oregon, is the Chargers' leading receiver. It's sharp slant route that time. The play-action fake eliminated the linebacker from the throwing lane, and it was a rather easy pitch and catch for the Chargers. Another first down.
Williams has a bad knee, but he is still playing. Travis Benjamin, their leading receiver, has a bad knee. He is playing. 1st and 10.
Hey, I don't like it. Hey, Louie! 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 Jolt! Delta! Done!
From the 35 of the Tennessee Titans, there's a quick throw outside, and once again he's got his receiver, but this time it's Dontrell Inman, the healthiest of the wide receivers. He's working on Parrish Cox, who's back from concussion protocol. It is a gain of 11. They take it down to the 24 of Tennessee.
And that's Inman's 2nd catch here on the first drive, and it's an impressive drive. We talked about how the Chargers have scored 5 opening drive touchdowns on the season. Their problem has been in the 4th quarter stopping teams.
Hey, we got face. Go out there. Hey, 79. 79. Go out there. Go. Hey, fast. 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 Delta. Set.
For the 1st and 10, Rivers kicks it outside. There is Benjamin, the former Cleveland Brown, who is forced out by both McCourty and the linebacker David Bass. He picks up a quick 5 yards right there. Good start for Phillip Rivers. He's down to the 19-yard line of Tennessee. Rivers, Dan, is 5 of 5 through the air.
And directing traffic, you hear him telling Gordon to get out there wide. And it's on the other side. Get out there.
You tell me that all the time. And I do get out there.
Well, he's totally in control as well, isn't he?
Delta. Set.
2nd down and 5. Here comes Gordon again. Oh, he is running so well with Klug around his ankle and Williamson on his back. A gain of 5 and a first down on this opening drive for the Chargers down to the 13-yard line of Tennessee.
Now, key block that time from the tight end. Watch Gates come in here and play this block here. And Gordon's going to be very patient. Let this block develop and then take it and pick up a couple there for the first down.
180. Roll. Light. Very hot. Good. Yeah. Yes. Gavel. Full. Delta. Set.
5 in the secondary, 1st and 10 for Phillip Rivers. They come off the left side. He's got his receiver. That's caught by Gates and a touchdown. He beats Damian Stafford. 13-yard touchdown pass by Rivers on the game's opening drive.
What a tremendous combination this has been throughout the years for San Diego. This is 108 touchdown receptions for Antonio Gates, running away again from Damian Stafford. And a perfect pass from Phillip Rivers.
And the 81st time that they have connected. 36-year-old Antonio Gates with their celebrated rookie Hunter Henry out because of an injury. Knee injury. The extra point is away, and it is no good wide right. So they miss. Josh Lambeau missing his 3rd extra point. But Gates gets him on the board with a perfect 6 of 6 through the air by Phillip Rivers. The San Diego Chargers' Dan Fouts, 4th consecutive game with a touchdown to begin a game. Up to the 23-yard line, flags all over the joint. He was brought down by Joshua Perry. It's an 18-yard return. They take it out to the 23-yard line.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 97. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's Carl Klug. Once again, the touchdown pass, a 13 to Gates.
Well, here's Gates right here, but the route by Jeremy Butler forces Stafford over the top. So when Gates hits to the corner, Stafford
Number
is late
71
getting there.
is an eligible receiver.
A legal play by the
71 is
Chargers. No
eligible.
contact there by Butler. And easy pitch and catch again. Rivers now has hit 4 different receivers in his 6-for-6 on that drive.
DeMarco Murray battling turf toe is in the game and starting, and it's 1st and 10. A fake. Mariota on the move and down the sideline, and there's Delaney Walker, who is a game-time decision. He bobbled it. He did not catch it at the 25-yard line. Some pretty good coverage there in the secondary. Adrian Phillips among a couple.
Now this ball is right on target on the run by Mariota, but you can see the bobble there just enough as that right foot comes down and it's out of bounds. Excellent call by the officials right on the spot.
Brandon Flowers had the coverage, 2nd down and 10. Marcus Mariota, second best quarterback rating over the last month after struggling in the first month. It is Murray. Oh, he's slippery as he takes it outside, and he picks up 4, and he's brought down on the play by Emmanuel. He's out to the 14-yard line. 2 of the top 4 offensive tackles in the NFL on the Titans, Lewan and Conklin. They help pave the way for that running game, led by DeMarco Murray. NFL's 2nd leading rusher coming in. We mentioned Delaney Walker. He is in the game. He was injured last week with a groin. They tried him out before the game. Ready to go. 3rd and 6.
So with long left arm at top of the screen, watch him reach out and hit Mariota just as he's releasing this ball. Bosa with 4 sacks already on the season, and this pressure here forces a punt now for Tennessee. A horrible start for the Titans, both offensively and defensively.
Kern to punt. Burse and Whalen are deep back. There's a bit of a breeze in the face of the Tennessee punter. This is not a good punt. And there's a diving retrieval by Burse. He's come off the San Diego practice squad. 36-yard punt. We're in the 1st and 8:55 to go.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. And by Hyundai, official sponsor of the NFL.
Well, aside from being here to watch this NFL game, Balboa Park wouldn't be a bad place to spend a beautiful Sunday afternoon in San Diego. Kevin Harlan, Dan Fouts, Scott Kaplan, Southern California. It's a 1st and 10 after the Tennessee 3 and out. The fake to Gordon, a quick hitter. It's caught by Inman. Slashing up the middle, brought down by Byard, the rookie. He takes it down to the 33 of Tennessee. A quick hitter for 17.
Bell Rivers now 7 for 7 the afternoon, and he's dealt it to 4 different receivers and really beating the Titans to the punch with the play-action passing game.
Miguel Gordon on that 1st and 10. Stopped on the play. Woodyard among a couple there with a gain of 3. And there is Arakpo. He is back in the game after leaving in the previous series. That is a good sign for the Titan D.
Chargers trying to go up-tempo here, going right to the line of scrimmage. Warm day here in San Diego. Chargers hoping to set the pace and wear down this Titan defense.
Light! Hey! Hey! Spread out a little bit. Goofy Phil Trace! Hey, Goofy Phil Trace! Goofy Phil Trace! Delta!
Looking into the nickel, 2nd down and 7. Flag is thrown into the dirt. At the throw goes the quarterback, Phillip Rivers.
Official grounding number 15 is in the area.
Our referee today is Brad Allen.
It's going to be against San Diego. Illegal motion.
Illegal motion, number 72, offense. That penalty is declined. Brings up 3rd down.
That's the right tackle, Dan. Joe Barksdale, the lowest rated offensive lineman by Pro Football Focus on the San Diego team.
And the Chargers, a rare penalty. They've had the 3rd fewest penalties in the NFL. That would have been number 42 had it been accepted. but just 41 so far. Good discipline.
Indeed.
180. Point. And hot. Set. Hey, Lee. Delta. Set.
Into the nickel, 3rd and 7 for Phillip Rivers. They get the block, and they have a wide open Gates. Dancing into the grasp of Morgan down to the 16 of Tennessee. A 13-yard pickup in on 3rd and 7, another Charger first down.
But it's just getting too easy. Here's Gates on the left side of the screen. And again, it's going to be a zone coverage here. They got number 91, Derek Morgan, trying to play in the secondary to guard the future Hall of Famer, and that's a mismatch any way you look at it.
1st and 10 handoff. Good tackle made by Woodyard as they were trying to send Gordon over the left side. Thrown for a 2-yard loss back to the 19-yard line.
That's the type of play you expect out of Wesley Woodyard. And talking to Mike McCoy about Woodyard, of course, McCoy was in Denver when Woodyard was as well. Sneaky. He says he's sneaky the way he runs through things and makes tackles.
I like that. At Tennessee tackles a couple years ago. 2nd and 12. Dunlap the block. They swing it outside. Here comes Gordon in space, and he goes right by Cox. Inside the 5 and gang tackled at the 4. How about that move? He sets up a goal to go on 2nd and 12. 14-yard catch and run. Here's the Chargers a 1st and goal, but there goes a flag.
Yeah, it's going to come back because DJ Fluker decided to launch his body into the pile to propel Gordon into the end zone. And they're going to get him for unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness, negating a big play.
The result of the play is a first down. After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 76, offense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
This is a great move by Gordon. Is he going to make a good tackler, and Parrish Cox missed there at the 15-yard line. But now watch number 76 from the left side of the screen. There he is coming in and throwing that 339 pounds around. Way late. Whistle had already blown. He tries to blow up the pile.
Nick Saban is rolling his eyes with that one. He would not teach his linemen to do that. Look at 4th-year head coach Mike McCoy.
That's a killer penalty.
Oh, 1st and 10. Wiping out a 14-yard game, but they do get a first down.
Hey, real quick. Delta!
Play clock got down to 1, and the 34-year-old, 13-year veteran Phillip Rivers calls a timeout. Step aside 2, 6:03 in the first, and the Chargers are threatening again. It's a 1st and 10 for Rivers. Dunlap lets his guy go by a rack pole. They go down deep with the coverage on the play by Jason McCourty on a pass that hung to Dontrell Inman, incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Because of the pass pressure on Rivers, he had to throw it early and off his back foot. Really couldn't get a whole lot into this throw. And it was real close even to being completed there. Coming up a little bit shy.
Good pace, though, Dan, nonetheless, huh? Like the pace of this offense.
Yeah, they're unstoppable right now. They just stopped themselves with that penalty.
It's a 2nd down and 10 for Rivers. He goes outside once again, and he's got his receiver across the way with the catch, and that's made by Jeremy Butler, signed on Halloween. It is a gain of 5. Take him down to the 14-yard line. Woodyard is there.
Signed on Halloween, still wearing his costume, huh?
Yes. See, he had a foul, and he's down.
No.
That's another receiver down. Jeremy Butler.
You talk about the injuries to their receivers. Keenan Allen, Stevie Johnson, and now the newest receiver being tended to.
Timeout. Just signed wide receiver Jeremy Butler, who was just released by the Jets, just waived by New York, is off under his own power. They put Griff Whalen in instead. 3rd and 5. Touchdown pass to Gates is the only score.
pocket! Delta! Done!
With a Swanson snap, they get by Dunlap, but he dumps it off inside. It was juggled and then reeled in with a Carl Klug tackle on a gain of 4 for the running back, Melvin Gordon, down to the 10.
Yeah, Chargers going to hustle the line of scrimmage and go for it here on 4th down. Charger fans love it.
Do you?
Absolutely. They got momentum on their side. It's like they were trying to draw them offside, so with a hard count. I think this last worked in 1952. Tobin wrote. Oh, that was before the Chargers were even here.
That's right. Otto Graham was quarterbacking the Rams of Cleveland at the time. They'll call
They go direct snap here, too.
They might. Wouldn't that have been an interesting play? They looked like, because they'd all been preoccupied watching Rivers walk to the sideline and then back there.
5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Back there was Gordon. You're right. It could have been a direct snap.
The Titans did not go for it, though. They stayed in formation, stayed in their stances. The fans who were happy a moment ago for the 4th down decision now greet Mike McCoy and the Chargers offense with boos.
And Josh Lambo, too, who's already missed an extra point today. He missed last week on a field goal. He's got a holder in Kellen Clemens. It used to be Kaiser, but they yanked him quickly. Here is a field goal try of 33. They get it through. San Diego with 2 possessions and 2 scores. A 33-yard field goal there. 4:11 in the first.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. And by Bud Light. Beer with your team on it.
Big vote coming up here in the San Diego area on Tuesday for a new stadium and convention center. And a hot topic. Trying to keep these Chargers in San Diego. It's been 56 years they've been in Southern California here in the San Diego area. Mark Mariani will leave it in the end zone. It's a touchback to the 25-yard line. Chargers leading a touchdown pass to Gates and a 33-yard field goal. And talked about the vote coming up, Dan, on Tuesday. They need 2/3 approval to pass, and it'll increase the hotel tax from where it is now 12.5% to 16.5%.
And the key thing for San Diego residents, it's not going to cost them a dime unless they stay in a hotel for a weekend or something.
Right.
But why would you do that when you live here? So all the out-of-towners, and this is such a destination city for tourism, that the tourist will be charged that extra money, and that will help pay for the stadium. I think it's a brilliant idea. I just hope that everybody realizes that. It's a win-win situation for San Diego and the Chargers.
With 2 tight ends, it's a 1st and 10, and this is DeMarco Murray, formerly of the Cowboys and the Eagles, and stacked up. Gains 3 on the play, hit by a bunch, including Bosa. He gets out to the 27, 28-yard line.
Now we can see if the Titans can get something going with this possession. A little better field position after the kickoff and ball coming out to the 25, but not much on 1st down, and they've been really good on 3rd downs this year, converting 48%. That's because they do so well on 1st and 2nd down with this power running attack.
They're moving the right tackle to the left side. Lewan and Conklin side by side, 2nd and 7. Dennis Kelly playing the right tackle. The handoff to DeMarco Murray with a lead block there by the fullback Fowler. He's out to the 34, picks up 6 on that 2nd down play. 3rd and short now coming up for the Titans.
And a solid tackle in the secondary by the safety, Adrian Phillips. There's a good hole on the right side, and if Phillips doesn't make that tackle, Murray's got a long gain.
He had a season-best 5 tackles last week. Phillips did against the Denver Broncos. Third and 1. Oh, was he drilled. Legit came in and whacked him hard. Back to the 32. Loss of 2 on the play. Here's a punting situation again for Tennessee.
Now check out number 94 right here. He's going to beat the block of Lewan and get into the backfield. He turns his shoulders nicely to slide through that hole, and huge 3rd down stop for San Diego.
Part of a very effective line with Mebane on there. Usually it's Bosa, but he's playing some outside backer today. Kern will punt for a second time. His first one didn't hang and didn't travel. This one does, and Burris is back there looking up into the sun with a fair catch back at the 12, 55-yarder, hang time of 4.59. The defense there for San Diego. 2:09 first. Welcome back to San Diego in honor of Veterans Day. For every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games, the league will donate $1,000 to its military nonprofit partners, including the Pat Tillman Foundation, USO, and Wounded Warrior Project. To join the salute and learn more, visit NFL.com/salute. 2 Rivers possessions, 2 scores. Farrell in the backfield. 1st and 10. Dunlap got around the head that time of Arakpo. They throw it quickly outside. McCourty was on Inman. Did he scoop it in? They say he did. At the 26, 13-yard pickup wiped away.
After this was to the goal. Still first down.
He's having a hard time. Dunlap, the left tackle, with Arakpo on the edge for the Tennessee Titans.
Well, Arakpo lined up really wide. He's got great speed. Top of the screen here, you can see the left arm go right around the throat of Brian Arakpo. Easy call for the officials. And finally, the Titans defensively come up with a big play, forcing that penalty.
Titans on defense have the 3rd most sacks in the NFL. 1st and 16. Kenneth Farrell gets the call. Rookie free agent out of the University of Houston. And around his ankles he has Williamson. That's a gain of 5, and he plows his way up to the 12 of the Chargers. You know, the endurance of Phillip Rivers, the fact that he can last and play at such a high level, Dan, today is 169th consecutive start.
Absolutely remarkable. When you consider the problems that they've had with the offensive line the last couple of years and all these different receivers got to throw to, no drop-off in his production. In fact, he may be even better.
2nd down, 11. Outside to go here, Inman. And then quickly on him is Parrish Cox, back from concussion protocol after missing last week, but they lose 2 on the play. Back to about the 10.
And this may be against the secondary of the Titans.
Another flag, you got it. A good secondary, good defense, number 10.
Holding. Defense, number 23. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
I was going to say a good secondary. They are not. And that was on Bryce McCain, who has been targeted, Dan, by opposing quarterbacks for one of the highest quarterback ratings in the NFL. They go at him a lot.
Well, and he's in there for Parrish Cox. Remember, Cox missed the tackle on Melvin Gordon. That was nullified by the penalty on Fluker, but that was holding for automatic first down, San Diego.
Farrell the block, buys time. Rivers outside, and here goes Gates in stride. He was working that time on Kevin Dodd, the rookie out of Clemson. 15-yard catch and run, and he takes him up to the 32 at San Diego.
Well, he's lining up in the backfield. Here he is, number 85, and just a quick out. And the ability of these two to make completion after completion for so many years. Again, Rivers finding his tight end against the linebacker, Kevin Dodd.
Hey, easy, easy. 65 bicep. 65 bicep. 65 bicep. Okay.
This has got to be a running play, doesn't it? 65 bicep?
If it is, and it should be. 1st and 10. Slings one to the side. That's caught. Grabbed on the play by Williams. Working on Cox. Another first down near midfield. 19-yard pickup. Put him at the Tennessee 49.
This is a back bicep throw. That's what it was, not a back shoulder.
I like
the back bicep.
You knew that. Beautiful day in San Diego. Tomorrow on CBS, Adam Sandler joins Kevin James for a very special Kevin Can Wait. Tomorrow, 8, 7 Central. Only CBS with Hall of Fame quarterback Dan Fouts. Scott Kaplan on our sideline. Kevin Harlan. Look at the first half numbers and look it through the air for both these teams to begin the game.
Time of possession, the Titans held a 3-minute edge coming into today's game against their opponents.
Gordon is in. He's got a 1st and 10 run. It's a foot race with the secondary. Being chased down by Byard. What a run, Melvin Gordon. He is a completely new back this year compared to his rookie season. A gallop of 43 and a 1st and goal from the 4.
Well, Antonio Gates has 5 catches on the afternoon. Watch this block. Again, he comes from the outside, takes care of the linebacker. That's Avery Williamson, and Gordon showing off his speed.
Chargers have scored in the first 2 possessions. This is their 3rd. First and goal. Rivers on first and goal, touchdown. Tyrell Williams. He beats Cox.
That's now 298 career touchdown passes for Rivers. Second here in the first half. Again, it's a slant route. Chargers have been excellent today throwing the slant route. Rivers on the spot again, 14 of 16 with a pair of scores.
He looks just as sharp today compared to how he was last week when he was struggling mightily with a 3-interception day against the Denver Broncos.
Well, he's getting time to throw, and he's getting the ball out quickly. And right now, the Chargers have the Titans totally off balance with this up-tempo offense.
It's the extra point by Lambeau. It is up and in. He missed his first. He nails the second. We're just into the second quarter in San Diego. 16-0 the Chargers. That was the penalty right there. They'll do it on the kickoff. Two touchdown passes by Rivers already. Be the first to know your team's news with the CBS Sports app. Get instant updates, expert analysis, highlights, and more. Download the CBS Sports app now. 16-zip. Whereas the Titans have had it 2 times. 3 and out both times, Dan.
They've run 6 plays for 11 yards. I don't know what's worse right now, their defense or their offense.
There was a leverage penalty on Tennessee, as we told you, so the kickoff is at the 50. It's a 15-yard mark-off, and Mariani will keep it in the end zone with a touchback to the 25. Let's go down to the sideline and welcome in Scott Kaplan.
Kevin and Dan, we talked to Philip Rivers yesterday. He spent a lot of time with him. He told us the game plan was to get out to an early lead. He wanted to see this Charger team play with the lead. He did not want to be standing on the sideline as Tennessee came in here and ran the ball as they've done so successfully so far this season. Thus far, guys, the Philip Rivers game plan, playing this up-tempo style that he talked to us about yesterday, has worked perfectly for San Diego.
And Gates, Dan, has been magnificent with 4 catches and 58 yards.
And 2 of them converting on 3rd down.
And a touchdown reception to 13. Mariota on 1st and 10. Nice catch made by the debilitated Delaney Walker. He was working on the linebacker, Corey Toomer. It's a 20-yard gain. And not playing at full strength, Walker takes him out to the 45.
Well, he's number 82 on the crossing route here. Watch the adjustment to the ball. Reaching up over the top of the linebacker, Corey Toomer. And just the type of play the Titans need on 1st down to get something going.
It's their first down. Running back is Andrews, Antonio Andrews. With the call right here, Luan with a good block. A missed tackle, and he's inside the 45 with a gain of 9. Let's take you to New York. Boomer and James.
After spotting Indy a 14-3 lead. How about Aaron Rodgers here? Last play of the first quarter is going to find Jordy Nelson 26 yards for a touchdown. I don't know how that ball's not intercepted. Some guys have all the luck, don't they, Dan? Indy leads 14-10.
Well, Dan, you've been set up. Take it away, Dan.
There's nothing wrong with a little luck once in a while.
Murray is in. 2nd and 1. The league's number 2. Running back is brought down by Adrian Phillips, who plays in that safety position. Gain of 5. He's down to the 42. That is a 1st down and a flag thrown after the play.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 54, defense, with a headbutt. 15-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
It's Melvin Ingram. They'll yank him and put in Torek Williams.
And you're going to yank 5 sacks out of the Charger defense,
Yes.
too.
Oh, man.
He's a tremendous pass rusher, but he does at times lose his composure. And you can see the scuff mark on his helmet. That may be a result of that headbutt. He'll be in shortly.
3 Tennessee tight ends. Mariota 1st and 10. Good block by Murray. And incomplete. With the coverage on Delaney Walker that time, they had the veteran Brandon Flowers. 2nd down and 10.
Walker looking for a flag, but that was well played by Flowers. It appeared that Delaney Walker was losing his balance. He's 6'2". Flowers just at 5'9". Still talking to the officials about it.
Into the nickel, 2nd down and 10. Marcus Mariota down the middle it goes. Almost reeled in that time by Rashard Matthews, who has not dropped a ball this year. One of the best, in fact, in that category. And I'm not even sure if he dropped that one. The coverage was heavy.
Well, Adrian Phillips came from his safety spot. I think he knocked the ball loose. You talk about tight windows that time. I'm not sure that Mariota saw Phillips. Casey Hayward, who's got 4 interceptions on the season, was also in on that coverage.
The Heisman Trophy winner from 2 years ago at Oregon, Marcus Mariota, turned 23 last week, has a 3rd and 10. Looking into the nickel. Well, that dead.
Before the snap, Charge timeout. San Diego, their 2nd.
Chargers really playing
32nd
debilitated.
timeout.
Dan, they begin the season with 5 inside linebackers. The top 4 inside backers are out today for Mike McCoy's defense.
Yeah, Jatavis Brown and Denzel Perryman. Of course, Manti Te'o, Jerry Atachu, an outside linebacker, not able to play today with a bad ankle. They just spend most of the week introducing themselves to each other.
They do. Well, let's introduce you to the standings because they do play a factor. The Titans are 4-4. They're a game and back of Houston, who is idle today. A win, they're a half game out. San Diego, 3 and back of Oakland and Denver. So you know they've got to continue to win just to stay involved in the toughest division in pro football.
And Kansas City, a winner today, moves to 6-2 as well.
Wow. They're loaded. Into 6 defensive backs, 3rd and 10 for Marcus Mariota. They hold him out. He finds his receiver at about the 17. It is grabbed on the play by tight end Fasano. Only his 5th catch of the year. It's a gain of 9. He's down to the 17-yard line of the Chargers.
And now decision time for Mike Mularkey.
And that is not a good sign
And
with Joey Bosa.
Joey Bosa, looks like he's having trouble getting off. Maybe a leg injury for Bosa. Had a bad hamstring earlier.
Well, an early 16-0 lead for the San Diego Chargers. Here's a 4th down, Dan, and 1, and they're going to go for it. An interesting early game decision.
Now trailing by 16 with great field position. This is a good call by Mike Mularkey.
Murray is in. With 3 tight ends into a 4-man front, DeMarco Murray. Continued to dig. It was hard to see if he got it. He was hit by a couple, including Corey Toomer in the middle from the linebacking core for San Diego.
Now the official from this official here gave him more yardage than this official here. And we'll see who rules on this one because the second effort may have been enough to pick up the 1st down.
First 2 possessions for Tennessee, both 3 and out. Chargers have had it 3 times, scoring all 3 times.
Well, there's no fullback in front of DeMarco Murray here, so he's got to do this all on his own. You see, he stopped there, but watch this effort here. But did the ball get as far enough for the 1st down?
Bring out the change to see. One of the big additions on this Tennessee offensive line has been center Ben Jones.
Inches.
Short. They didn't get it. So Murray today has been stopped on 3rd
Well, they
and 1.
did get it. They say
now they did give it to him.
Wow.
That time it was a 4th and inches, and he got it for Coach Mike Mularkey. In his first full season as head coach at Tennessee took the place of Ken Whisenhunt, who was fired 20 months into the job. Whisenhunt is the San Diego offensive coordinator. 1st and 10, big play for Tennessee. Murray in motion. They get the 4th and 1, and then Mariota throws a rocket.
And he's under pressure by Kyle Emanuel. Put it up high for Matthews. Matthews smelling that goal line. Mariota now in his career, 26 red zone touchdowns and no red zone interceptions. That is remarkable for a young quarterback or for any quarterback.
Matthews, who played 4 years with the Miami Dolphins, beat Brandon Flowers, 16-yard touchdown pass. And over the last 4+ weeks, he has thrown, Mariota, 11 touchdowns and 1 pick. He is red hot, right in back of Brady, in fact, in terms of quarterback rating over the last month. And that's saying something. Suck up to tack on 1, and a new score, 16-7 in San Diego. Walker caught a pass for 20. Andrews ran it for 9, and then Mariota, a 16-yard strike to Matthews. This past Tuesday, several members of the Charger organization spent their day off visiting Rady Children's Hospital here in San Diego. The Charger players, including Kenneth Farrow and Chris Landrum, played catch with the kids, took pictures, and did other activities to brighten their spirits. Part of many stories all over the National Football League, giving back to the community. Good-looking drive by Marcus Mariota, who before the draft, when he was taken number 2, he and Phillip Rivers were together in Carlsbad working out, him getting a lot of tips from the veteran Rivers.
Well, he had to learn how to take a snap from center. Hadn't done that ever in high school or college. Worked on his drop back with Phillip, and Phillip was very impressed with the talent and humility for a guy that had just won the Heisman Trophy to seek out a veteran quarterback. Very smart on Mariota's part, and great for Phillip to spend the time with him.
Well, he's an Oregon Duck. You'd expect nothing less, right? Here's a look at what Rivers has done. 3 possessions, Dan, and 3 scores, including 2 touchdown passes.
To say he's red hot is an understatement. 14 of 16, and 5 of his last passes have all been complete.
So Griff Whalen got that ball in the end zone, left it there, 25-yard line. It is a 1st and 10 with Gordon at his side. In the draw play handoff, Melvin Gordon stiff-arming his way into the grasp of Searcy in the secondary. A burst of 9. He's out to the Charger 24.
And you got to love that play call because the Chargers are having so much success throwing the ball. 156 yards already for Rivers. The draw play is the perfect complement to it. Another draw.
And a 2nd down and 1, and they open up the middle. Swanson getting the block in there, along with Fluker, gain of 4. They get the first, burrowing his way to the 38-yard line, hit on the play by Jarrell Casey. This kid has changed his life around, working out with Adrian Peterson in Houston over the summer. Where's Peterson's number 28? That's who he idolizes, Dan, and he is reflecting the best of Peterson in his 2nd year in the NFL.
And with injuries to Danny Woodhead, he is now the every down back for San Diego.
Rakpo wraps him up there in that 1st and 10 handoff. He gets past the 40-yard line, pick up a 3, Dan, out to the 41. Chargers have had some kind of season. Both teams, Dan, began the season 1-4. Both teams have dug themselves out of that hole.
Huge win, a huge game here for San Diego, trailing 3 AFC West opponents by 3 games.
390.
With a 2nd down and 7, Rivers right on the money on a quick slant caught by Williams. Searcy grabs him from behind. Played big game by Tyrell Williams, the 2nd-year receiver out of Western Oregon. A slant, a gain of 16 to the 43-yard line of Tennessee.
Well, look at there's nobody near Rivers on the slant route. This is a team that has 22 sacks, 3rd best in the NFL coming in. They're not getting anywhere near number 17.
1st and 10, draw play handoff once again, and this is Gordon, who is stuck. Brought down on the play by a couple, including the linebacker Sean Spence A pickup of 3 near the Tennessee 40 and back downstairs to Scott.
Kevin, from the Tennessee sideline, we still haven't seen first-year running back Derrick Henry, the Heisman Trophy winner out of Alabama. The Titans PR staff reporting a calf injury and his return questionable. And I don't recall seeing him in the game yet.
Now, it's possible he got hurt in pregame warmups. That does happen at times.
Mike Malarkey, who played a lot of tight end in this NFL. Second down, 7.
Done. We're good. Now we're going. Express.
Go flags. False start.
Yeah, Barksdale came up out of his stance.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Dan, that's the 4th penalty against the offense of the Chargers this afternoon.
And Barksdale's had a hand in a couple of those, hasn't he?
He sure has. As we said before, the lowest rated lineman. He has started all but 1 game in his career with Oakland. A high draft pick out of LSU, now in his 6th year. Second down and 13. Push it back to the 46.
White. Hey, Tiger. Hey, Tiger. 59 fight. Hey, Tiger. Downtown. Done.
Running into Fluker and a great defensive play coming through Derek Morgan. That was as good as it gets on that 2nd and 13. Loses 5 and then he's pushed back to midfield for San Diego.
Well, Morgan usually plays outside, but this time he's inside working against DJ Fluker. And as you called it, Kevin, this is an outstanding play. Gives him a little bit of a head fake, overpowers him, and brings down Gordon in the backfield, setting up a 3rd and medium. No, 3rd and really long for San Diego after the penalty.
Done.
3rd and 16, they need the 33. Oh, look out from behind. Rivers is doused. Wesley Woodyard with his 2nd career sack. Both have come this year. He loses yardage. 6 back to the 44. The punting unit out there for San Diego.
Here's Woodyard right here, and he's going to be very patient coming all the way around to get in on Rivers. His 2nd sack of the season. And you can see nobody there to pick him up. That's Dick LeBeau's style of defense. Very creative, especially on 3rd and longs.
Here's the punt by Kaiser. Flag is thrown. Mariani with the catch. It was fair caught inside the 20, 40-yard punt. Mentioned before that Tennessee defense has the 3rd most sacks in the NFL, led by coordinator Dick LeBeau.
He's going to be holding against San Diego. I'd be surprised if they don't decline this penalty. They got pretty good field position.
During the kick,
the short punt.
Holding. Kicking team number 56. That 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the dead ball spot. It will be 1st down, Tennessee. Timeout.
Corey Toomer was guilty of the hold. Coming through, 2nd career sack in the same year, linebacker Wesley Woodyard.
Oh my God.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
What do you mean?
That's a nice way, too. A dangerous way, maybe, to spend a Sunday afternoon. That was off of Dan's.
That's Black's Beach down below, where a lot of people have a lot of fun.
First down and 10. Looked like he tripped as he was cutting. DeMarco Murray couldn't find a lot of room. He was hit on the play by Torrek Williams, losing a yard.
And, the last game against Jacksonville, he did injure a couple of toes. It's not his big toe, and it's on his right foot. That time, trying to cut off his left foot, lost his footing and went down, losing a yard and a half.
If it was the big toe, that's one thing, right?
It'd be big problems. Big toe you need for balance.
Andrews in now. Second down, 11, Antonio Andrews. There was a nice block in there by Josh Klein. It opens the door. He is tackled by Lowry from the secondary. Gain of 6. He's up to the 32-yard line of Tennessee.
That's interesting with Derrick Henry with the injury on the sideline that Scott Kaplan told us about moments ago. Antonio Andrews getting his shot. He's a big back too.
Andrews had not carried the ball until today this season. 3rd year back out of Western Kentucky. At the 3rd and 5, Murray was in, but they go down the middle and dropped on the play. It was Kendall Wright. Big time hit. Phillips flag down. 2 of them.
Well, the last flag is for hitting a defenseless receiver. The first flag is a separate penalty. And again, this is a 3rd down, so this is a critical mistake here by San Diego.
It was 3rd and 5.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Pass interference. Offense, number 13. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
They'll punt.
That's a slant route to Kendall Wright. Drops the ball there, and there's the shot. And then the flag came in. They must have decided this was a legal hit. It certainly looks like a defenseless receiver receiving a blow by Phillips to the helmet of Wright.
Brett Kern. He'll punt for Tennessee. It's the 3rd 3 and out in 4 possessions. With the catch under it, this is Burse. Byard was down there with a nice special teams play. Hang time of 4.69. 4-yard return. 5:13 first half from San Diego. A flag had been thrown on that return, which is down about the 37-yard line.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 23 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down. Timeout.
That is Dexter McCoyle, who plays in the secondary, a reserve. 5:13 2nd quarter. Tonight, with the election hanging in the balance, 60 Minutes speaks to voters who will help determine its outcome. Plus, the frightening Zika virus is here in America. What's being done about it? You'll see tonight. Only CBS. Titans won last game. It was a Thursday game, 36-22 over Jacksonville. Chargers losing last week, 27-19 in Denver. There was a penalty, as you see it right here on the punt.
Oh, Brinkley getting hit from behind by Dexter McCoyle.
Hey, go Robert! Robert!
So they go back to the 12, 1st and 10.
Robert! Robert! Delta! Touch!
Quick throw, nice defensive play. Byard, the rookie, stepping in front of the veteran, Antonio Gates. Flag, foul. Brad Allen's been busy.
Pass interference. Defense, number 31. By rule, the ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
That's another slant route. You can see the left arm of Byard around the waist and holding the left arm of Antonio Gates. They finally stop a slant route, but illegally.
Set! Set! We're good. Set! 5-4's Mike! Delta! Touch!
Into the nickel, 1st and 10. Draw play, Gordon slips, dances, drives. Brought down by Searcy. 26-yard line. That is a gain of 8 by the Wisconsin Badger. Melvin Gordon in his 2nd season, the number 7 rusher in the league. But as again we see a flag and a hold.
This will be the 8th penalty of the first half against the Chargers.
Holding, number 76. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
Fluker.
I don't know if the Chargers are trying to match what the Raiders did last week with 23 penalties, but they're on a pretty good pace. Yeah, the Chargers and the Raiders have a rivalry.
They sure do.
In every phase of the game.
Including if they're going to stay where they are.
Oh, boy.
There's all kinds of stuff going on with both these franchises. Rivers has thrown 2 touchdown passes. Mariota 1. 1st and 19.
Stay there! We're good. 5-4. Delta! Touch!
Once again, it's Gordon. High stepping, breaking tackles. He broke the initial hit of Searcy. Williamson was there to knock him out of bounds. Melvin Gordon with a 19-yard run. He'll be up to the 29-yard line of San Diego. Think of the 28.
Well, he's got 90 yards on the ground right now, and again, it's a draw play. Very simple rushing attack for San Diego in this first half. It's about 70% draw plays because Rivers been so good throwing the ball, 15 and 17.
Bubble, run a bubble. Delta, done.
1st and 10. And this is Farrell. With a gain of 4, he's up to the 32. He was brought down on the play by Jones defensively for Tennessee. The number 10 defense in the NFL coming in, led by Dick LeBeau.
And Farrell, who had a great preseason, and when Brandon Oliver went down and Danny Woodhead went down, Farrell kept himself in shape, and now he's getting his shot.
Fish, 73, fish. Delta, done.
2nd down, 6, Farrell. With his first catch in the NFL. Chased and brought down by Spence, the former Steeler. Gain of 5. He's up 2 and shy of the first down at the 37.
A good read by Rivers that time to get the ball out quickly. And Farrell, who's guarded by a linebacker, had more speed and now sets up a 3rd and short.
Tennessee 3 timeouts, San Diego 1. 3rd down. 1. Make it 2. Into a thicket. Drops incomplete. Boy, there was a lot of congestion right around Gates. Good coverage on the play by the rookie. And a 3rd-round pick out of Middle Tennessee, Kevin Byard.
Well, here's your thicket. I mean, it's a pick play by Inman coming down trying to give Gates some room, but Byard with a good play that time. And the Chargers are turned away on 3rd and really short.
San Diego began today with 3 consecutive scores. This is the 2nd consecutive punt. Mariota waving it off and fielding it like a shortstop. He's on a knee at the 21 on a 43-yard punt by Drew Kaiser, a rookie out of Texas A&M. 2:35 to go here in the first half. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Bill Cowher for the latest NFL scores, news, and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, and some stories from the first portion of today. Chiefs go to 6-2. Roethlisberger comes back from surgery just a couple weeks after he had it, but a loss. First and 10. Mariota with time. Good block by Conklin. Picked off on the play. Picked off on the play by the defensive back, Hayward. He's got 5 this season. He takes it down to the 17. Make it the 15 of Tennessee. 23-yard return. Casey Hayward from Vanderbilt.
Well, here's Hayward here. Mariota's trying to hit Delaney Walker on a wheel route, and it's a zone. Look at the eyes right here of Hayward. Looking back, guarding his man, coming off, and picking it off in front of Delaney Walker. Mariota never saw the corner, and another pick for Casey Hayward.
His 5th. First year with this San Diego secondary. He's got the most interceptions for San Diego defensive back since 2011. He has made his imprint on this team.
That's 10 turnovers now by Marcus Mariota in the last 9 games.
Behind! Delta! Done! Hey! Hey, Deuce Tiger! Deuce Tiger! Hey, go! Deuce Tiger! Delta! Done!
For the 1st and 10, Gordon. Good block, shifty move down to the 8, hit by Spence. 7 yards, swerving run to the Tennessee 8.
And another good block by tight end Antonio Gates. Little bunch formation on the right side. And the draw play called again by Rivers at the line of scrimmage is very productive.
Chargers are trying to win their 3rd and 4. Titans are trying to win their 4th and 5. 2-minute warning in San Diego. Hayward had just picked off his 5th pass of the season, 15th consecutive takeaway, 15th consecutive game with the takeaway for San Diego. Number 1 in the NFL. 2-minute warning. Chargers a timeout. 2nd and 3. Melvin Gordon Head down, submarining near the 5. Byard with a couple, gain of 3 on the play by Melvin Gordon.
The offensive line of the Chargers needs a lot of credit because they are just manhandling the powerful front 7 of the Titans. Matt Slauson with a really solid job that time to open that hole right up the middle for Gordon.
And Pro Football Focus has this offensive line as a bottom 3rd offensive line in run blocking and pass protection for their quarterback. So Slauson has been a wonderful addition, hasn't he, on this line from Chicago as a free agent?
Yeah, he's been consistent, and that's all you can really ask for. Plus, he has a lot of responsibility with pass protection along with the quarterback, Phillip Rivers. So their relationship has grown from week to week. And Slauson, as you said, Kevin, just a solid addition for this Charger offense.
Gates is going to come off the field. McGrath goes in.
Hurry up, Mark. Hurry up. Son! 380!
With a 1st and goal at the 4. Gordon, who corkscrews his way down to the 3. Casey is on him. Also Cersei on his back with a gain on the play of a yard. Another timeout taken, down to the 3. Tennessee has taken the timeout. They have 1 left, as do the Chargers.
Now Tennessee obviously hoping to have time on the clock at the end of the first half to go down and get some points, but that interception by Mariota really took a lot of the momentum that they had garnered there in the second quarter.
Think of the injuries that Charger offense has had. Woodhead gone, Brandon Oliver, the 3rd down back gone, their top receiver Allen, Stevie Johnson. I mean, they've just been decimated. They've had to connect the dots. Playing hard here. Derek Watt is the fullback. 2nd and goal at the 3. Gordon hit. Nice defensive play by the rookie, Kevin Byard. They would like to see him tackle better. He has shown it today. He has had his best tackling day of the year. Loss of a yard.
Now let's check him out here. Number 31. He shoots the gap right here. And watch the technique he uses on this tackle. Stays low, meets Gordon, wraps him up in the backfield, and beats the block of Fluker coming over. That's a huge play for Tennessee.
2-time first-team Conference USA player at Middle Tennessee State, Byard, who is a 3rd-round pick with his 10th-ranked defense.
They're still talking about the 4 straight passes against Denver from the 2-yard line from last week. You're seeing a change in philosophy here, perhaps, with all runs so far. They'll be throwing this one, though, guarantee you.
Gates in, 3rd and goal. Rivers, Barksdale the block, Phillip drives, and he lost the ball. He was tackled on the play by Jones. It bounces deep in the end zone and maybe out of the end zone.
Complete pass. 4th down.
All right, incomplete pass. 4th down is what they rule. He must have tried to toss it there as he was being yanked down.
Well, I think he thought he saw Tyrell Williams open right at the goal line, trying to escape the pocket. That just hauls off and heaves it. You can see right here, top of the screen, there is Williams. Great defensive stand by this Tennessee Titan defense.
Good point. DeQuan Jones there with the stop. 23-yard Josh Lambo field goal try. He's been perfect inside the 40. From 23, and it's 19-7. San Diego just before halftime. They have scored on 4 of their 6 possessions, but they had it 1st and goal at the 4. The Titan defense does their job, as did Hayward on the defensive side for the San Diego Chargers, and 1:32 to go. Coming up, the Verizon halftime report from our CBS studios in New York with JB and Company. Scores, highlights, news, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. All coming up on the Verizon halftime report. There's a look at LaDainian Tomlinson, part of the cavalcade of stars here on the eve, or so it would seem, of the Tuesday vote for a brand new stadium and convention center here in the San Diego area for these Chargers.
Yeah, LaDainian Tomlinson, a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer this year.
The ensuing kickoff by the Chargers, who just got the pick, and Mariani lets it hit the goalposts. Out to the 25-yard line with the touchback. The stadium was built back in 1967. One of the oldest in the NFL, certainly. It's held Super Bowls. But Dan, they obviously need a new structure here if they want to keep this team.
Yeah, they're trying. There's Dean Spanos, president of the Chargers, hoping that a good showing today will help influence the vote on Tuesday.
You should get out and shake some hands.
I will.
I'm talking about him. I know you will. I want him to. 1st and 10. Mariota. And he's on the screws right there. It is caught by Wright, who missed preseason with a hamstring. It is a 16-yard pickup. He's up to the 41. Hit by the defense of San Diego. Phillips. 1st and 10. Mariota. And he's got one right there. Matthews, who got a touchdown pass earlier, grabs that one for 7. He's up to the 47, 48-yard line and a player down for San Diego.
This is a break for Tennessee because they have no timeouts. They had to use them on that last defensive possession. So this stops the clock at just under a minute.
Adrian Phillips is the one to go down. There is a timeout. It's on San Diego. It's an injury timeout, so they automatically lose it inside 2 minutes. Dan, you constantly talk about Phillip Rivers and what he means to this organization, what he has meant to pro football. His numbers are going to put him in the top 10 in every important category when it's all said and done. He's got more years left, but he means so much to this franchise.
Yeah, he's a natural leader and tough guy, okay, and skilled. When you add those three together, you get Phillip Rivers. He's as respected a quarterback throughout the league as anybody, and you can see the way he commands the offense. And when you get to play at home as he is today, he can really direct players. We've heard that throughout the first half, and just a remarkable career, and one that I hope is not over for a long time.
Phillips off the field. Dexter McCoyle has taken his place. It's 2nd down and 3. Mariota. No timeouts. Lewan the block. Up the middle it goes. It is caught on the play by the running back DeMarco Murray. His 29th catch of the season. It's a gain of 7. They got a 1st down to the 45 of the Chargers.
Good read by Mariota. Just the first catch for Murray today.
Toomer makes the stop, and they stop the clock there with a spike from Mariota. With no timeouts, now 2nd down and 10.
And the key now, of course, is you can't get the touchdown, get that guy in range. Succup's long this season is just 48 yards. He does have a career long of 54.
Coming off a career year last year, he has made 28 straight. Succup inside 50. 2nd and 10. Schwenke with the block at the guard. This goes off to Delaney Walker. Stiff-arms his way into Flowers. Gets close to the 1st down, the 37. He picks up 9 on the play.
He was hoping to get out of bounds, but good job by Flowers to keep him from doing just that.
3rd and 1. Lewan the block in time for Mariota, and he's going deep, and he's got his receiver. Tajay Sharp with the catch. Out of bounds at the 7. 29-yard strike, 1st and goal.
Not a lot of room on that sideline either. This is a beautiful throw by Mariota. Over the top of the defensive back, Hayward to Sharp. Sharp gets enough time and room to get his feet down. And now the Titans in the red zone where Mariota has been just remarkable.
No timeouts. 19 seconds. 1st and goal at the 7. Murray is in. Time, toss, touchdown. Rashard Matthews, a 7-yard catch. And he's grabbed his 2nd touchdown reception today. They beat Dexter McCoyle, taking the place of the injured Adrian Phillips.
Well, it's a corner route. He gets inside of Hayward. McCoyle doesn't come over fast enough from his safety spot. And Mariota with his 27th red zone touchdown of his career against 0 red zone interceptions.
Rashard Matthews has caught his 2nd touchdown pass today, his 5th of the season. And the Tennessee Titans are back in business after trailing 16-0. Mariota on that drive was 6 of 7. Pinpoint and very sharp. And he hit sharp for that 29-yarder. There's an extra point, making it a 5-point game with 14 seconds to go. Marcus Mariota right on the screws. 14 seconds left. That's a look at the scoring summary right there. A 7-play drive. Beautiful quarterbacking by Marcus Mariota. And for a second time today, he's hit Rishard Matthews for a touchdown pass. 7 yards there, 16 yards earlier on their third possession. He has thrown a pick. San Diego has scored 4 of their 6 possessions today, with touchdown passes of 13 yards to Gates, 6 yards to Williams, and they got a 23-yard field goal and a 33-yard field goal. Suck up with the kickoff after the touchdown. Whalen will leave it in the end zone. So Tennessee is a game back of first place and idle Houston. The Texans are 5-3. The Titans are 4-4. San Diego in that rugged AFC West, where the top 3 teams, Denver, Kansas City, and Oakland, all 6-2. So it looks like Rivers will take a knee after scoring the first 3 times they had it. And they'll take it to halftime. This is going to set up a very interesting second half. Rivers 16 of 20 through the air, 2 touchdowns, 176 yards. Marcus Mariota 9 of 16, 120 through the air, 2 touchdowns and a pick downstairs to Scott Kaplan.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Coach, it seemed like your team was in total control throughout the first half, yet Tennessee has climbed back into this. What happened there at the end?
Penalties. Well, not just at the end, but through the whole, after the first couple drives, offensively, we've got a penalty every series. Defensive penalties, special teams penalties. So the penalties is really hurting this football team right now.
How do you fix that?
We've got to clean it up.
Coach, thank you very much. Good luck to you. Back up to you, Kevin.
Gotta clean it up. We are at halftime with a 19-14 Charger lead. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report from New York after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We're halftime here in San Diego, where they've just concluded a star-filled halftime ceremony with all the greats that have played for the Chargers over the years. We had a San Diego 16-0 lead, but the Titans have come back. Here's a look at the Shoulders of Greatness highlights of the first half, brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Rivers finds Gates. A 13-yard touchdown pass. And for these two that are the #1 combination of quarterbacks and tight ends throwing touchdowns, the 81st time they have connected for a touchdown, Rivers to Gates. But a 16-0 lead for the Chargers has gone by the wayside. Mariota has thrown 2 touchdown passes to Matthews, and Dan Fouts through 30 minutes of football. These are some of the numbers.
Yeah, I think the key here is that because of that missed extra point in that last drive by the Tennessee Titans, we just have a 5-point game. So you go back to the time of possession, really doesn't mean all that much now because the Titans were so effective at the end of the first half to get that touchdown.
If I may say, I thought you were terrific at halftime with all those Charger greats around you in the stadium watching and celebrating the rich history of this organization.
Yeah, it's such a thrill to be with these guys. You know, you just can't imagine what it's like to be #1 on the field again with them.
Yeah,
and then to be surrounded and have such a tremendous reception by the fans here in San Diego.
Dan, they got the vote coming up here on Tuesday, and I know I'm probably on the same path with you here. Have you ever seen a city in this country that has built a new stadium in any sport and not had the benefits of that new building spread outward into the entire area?
And don't think for a second that the Chargers wouldn't get back into the Super Bowl rotation.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Because the league loves to come to San Diego in February. Who doesn't?
Exactly. We just saw the kickoff to Tennessee. Mariani leaves it in the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 25, and to the sideline and Scott Kaplan.
Kevin spoke to Mike Mularkey at halftime. He said Derrick Henry is out of this game. He did tweak his calf muscle in the pregame, and he will not return to this game. He said that he felt that the team was knocked down on their heels early in the first half. They've come back now. They can go back to their regular game plan. He says we're going to play till the final whistle.
Scott, thank you. Henry coming off a career-high 60 yards against Jacksonville on Thursday night. 1st and 10, Mariota going deep, and he's got his receiver, but the coverage was there. He was looking for Matthews and going deep with Casey Hayward in the secondary, 2nd and 10.
And he also had to keep the ball away from the safety there, Dexter McCoyle. So the ball thrown to the outside, just about 2 yards too long.
So Adrian Phillips has not come back in after the injury. McCoyle continues to take his place. You see the first half resume. He's got a 2nd and 10. He had Murray in the backfield, and he finds a strike to Sharp, the rookie out of UMass. He is hit on the play by McCoyle. Whacked on the play in the secondary by Williams. 13-yard pickup. Take him out to the 38-yard line of Tennessee.
You look at the technique of Mariota, and it's absolutely perfect. Ball held high. Not a wasted motion at all as he delivers up another strike.
1st and 10. This to the tight end. Grabbed by Delaney Walker. Tackle made by Dwight Lowry on the play. The veteran out of San Jose State. It's a gain of 6, and they're up to the 43.
So 3 straight passes to start the second half, and the Titans are near midfield.
Great pace, huh?
Yeah, no huddle as well.
2nd down, 4. They go once again to Sharp. He curls around. He's belted by Williams. That's Steve Williams out of Cal. Gain of 7. It goes to midfield, and again, they huddle right at the line of scrimmage.
You talked about the injury to Adrian Phillips, and of course we talked about Jason Verrett. Got injured earlier in the year, so the Titans are attacking the Chargers secondary right now with pass plays.
1st and 10, screen pass Murray. Got the block on the play by Jones, and boy, has he been a welcome addition to that line. Falling on his Legion, who runs from that defensive line. They pick up 5 to the 45-yard line of San Diego.
Yeah, he made Corey Toomer miss. Toomer had him at the line of scrimmage, but Murray is a handful to bring down.
New running back Antonio Andrews. With Henry out, as we just heard from Scott Kaplan. Andrews getting the call. 2nd and 5. Four defensive backs. Good catch. 1st down grab. Sharp hit on the play by Steve Williams. It's a gain of 16 on the play. Sharp has had a big game today with a lot of catches and big ones, including a 29-yard reception back late in the first half.
And Mariota's getting a lot of time to throw as they're trying to wear out this Charger front defensive rush.
They gain 10 on that play. Here's a 1st and 10 going outside and grabbed on the play. Harry Douglas, who's been active the last 5 games. Douglas makes the grab and a pickup of 21. Hayward was defending, and they put him down, Dan, at the 14-yard line of San Diego.
This might be worth another look for San Diego, but because of the no huddle, they're not going to get the flag out. I don't think he caught that ball.
1st and 10, the fake, the throw, the deflection incomplete. As they were trying to go in for the slant, and right was in the square view of the quarterback, Mariota.
Let's go back to the Douglas catch or non-catch. Looks like the ball hits the ground there, and he rolls over and keeps it pinned to his body and shielded away from the officials.
Running back Murray atop your screen. 2nd and 10. Mariota on the move and to the pylon and touchdown! Wow. And they've got the lead. What a run by Marcus Mariota, 14-yard run.
Now, Kevin, that's why he won the Heisman Trophy a couple years ago at Oregon. 6 for 8 passing, and this ability and desire to hit the pylon and score. Tremendous effort and speed.
His 2nd rushing touchdown, Dan, this season.
And he's got, that's his signature touchdown, isn't it?
Boy.
Diving for the pylon.
Absolutely. And it took every inch he could carve out of that defense to get to the pylon. They made great halftime adjustments. 6th time this season they have scored out of the blocks to begin the second half.
And not one run play, except for the touchdown, which was a improvised play by Mariota.
Sharp had catches of 13, 7, and 10. Douglas had a 21-yarder. Here's the extra point by Suckup. And it's 21-19 Tennessee after they trailed 16-0. Boy, is he some kind of quarterback. And just in his second year, the Heisman winner, Marcus Mariota. Well, he's coming off a spectacular game against Jacksonville when he was 18-22 for 272 touchdowns, no picks. On that drive, some terrific plays, but none bigger than his own 14-yard touchdown run, Dan, and that puts the Tennessee Titans on top for the first time.
Yeah, kind of unusual that DeMarco Murray wasn't used once on that drive, and they still get the touchdown.
Burse, he'll leave it in the end zone with a touchback to the 25. And you wonder why the Chargers are where they are today, down by 2. They missed an extra point, and they had 2 red zone opportunities, Dan, and they only got 2 field goals and not more.
And you think about the injuries they've had in the secondary, and obviously at halftime, the adjustments made by Mike Mularkey and his offensive staff, led by Terry Robisky. They said, the heck with the run. We can beat them throwing the ball, and good pass protection. That's exactly what Mariota did.
5 defensive backs. With a 1st and 10, he slings it off to the side. It's caught by Inman with the coverage on the play by Parrish Cox. With a gain of 6 on the play, and that will put them at about the 31.
Pretty good timing on that pass. Rivers let it go before Inman had even completed his route, but the ball was put right on Inman's body. He had no choice but to catch it.
2nd down and 4, Melvin Gordon. Running right into the defense of that Tennessee team. He picks up 6 on the play. Jones makes the stop. It is a first down as he gets out to the 36. The Titans at 4-4, a game in back of first place Houston. The Chargers 3 games in back of Oakland and Denver and Kansas City. All 3 atop the West at 6-2.
390.
Phillip Rivers with the 1st and 10. With an incompletion, they're going for Inman. There's a flag, and it's thrown once again on McCain. 2nd time today. Quarterbacks go at him, and they have been feasting this season. He covers the slot. He was whistled right there.
The officials seem to have a disagreement on whether this is pass interference or not. Head linesman came in there.
Bryce
Jim Mello
over there pleading his case.
He threw the flag. The back judge came in and said, wait, not so fast.
Pass interference on the defense. By the rule, the ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
You can see Rivers just slinging this ball, and there's a collision there.
By Cox, who got in the way as McCain was dragging across the middle. Into a 4-man front, 1st and 10. Blocked by Dunlap out of Ratko. And outside for Gates. Coverage by Searcy. Casey was coming up the middle too.
Yeah, they're starting to get better pressure on Rivers now. Casey from his defensive end spot forced Rivers to get rid of that before Gates could come out of his break.
You know, we just saw Rakpo and we saw Casey involved in that play. They've combined, coming into today, Dan, for 65 pressures and a combined 10 sacks. They are a great 1-2 punch.
And 85 sacks between the 2 of them in their careers.
Rakpo has been going up against Dunlap on that edge, 2nd and 10. Dumping it off, Gordon got the block, and it was a good one by Fluker that opens up the gate. He is brought down on the play by the defense of Jones. A 12-yard catch and run down to the 39. It's a first down.
Here's DJ Fluker from his guard position. It's a screen pass. He gets out and he takes care of Williamson right there, and that's all Gordon needs to pick up the first down. Good mobility by the 339-pounder Fluker.
Farrow in.
Hey, go orange. Orange. Go foul. Delta. Good.
1st and 10. Morgan coming off the edge. Across the middle, Williams. Tackle made by Parrish Cox. So the gain minimal. Dan just a couple yards down to the 37-yard line of the Titans.
And you see Cox trying to rip that ball out.
Yep.
Good strong grab there, but Cox was trying to create some type of turnover. And when you think about the Titans defense, they have no forced fumbles throughout the first 8 games of the season.
That's amazing to me.
Their one fumble that they recovered was a special teams fumble.
And this is the 10th ranked defense in pro football. 2nd down and 8. The fake to Farrell, the block by Gates, the throw up the middle, and Farrell can't get it with coverage on the play by Avery Williamson. 3rd and 8 coming up for San Diego.
Yeah, I think that Farrell was thinking about running before he made the catch. Rivers got it to him quickly, right over the middle. He might have had enough for the first down if he was able to hang on. But Williamson was right there.
Dick LeBeau, who was brought in by Ken Wisenhunt when he was the coach at Tennessee. 3rd and 8. Gordon is in. Congested pocket again, dropped by Whalen. With coverage in the vicinity that time by Jason McCourty.
Well, those 2 guys you were talking about, Jarrell Casey and Brian Arakpo, providing that pressure.
Arakpo has been so effective and disruptive today. There's a flag, as you can see.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 30, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
That's the 4th San Diego first down by penalty today.
You know, they're getting to Rivers. They're making him move around. But this penalty here, little pivot route by Whalen, the grab on the jersey by McCourty, that kept Whalen from getting to that ball, but it also drew the flag from the officials.
Big running back battle today. Gordon's got 106 yards on the ground. His 3rd 100-yard game of the season. It's a 1st and 10. He gets it here on the draw play. Boy, nothing there. Nice play. Sean Spence, who leads the special teams in tackles, comes up with a nice play right there. And on the play, they have no gain. They stay at the 32.
Well, again, it was a draw play, and Tennessee has made the proper adjustment. They're reading it better here in the second half than they did in the first half. Gordon now 18 carries, over 100 yards, but not much there. In fact, nothing there.
And he's been catching them too, 3 for 30. He remains 2nd and 10.
White! 80, hug! Set, hey, go orange 5-4. Orange 5-4. Delta! Set!
5 in the secondary for the Tennessee Titans. That's what Rivers will throw into right here. And he's got his receiver falling down, grabbed by Inman. Searcy and McCain were there, gain of 11. He's got the first down to the Tennessee 21.
If you give Rivers time, he's going to find his man. He's going to deliver it on target. He converts another 3rd down there.
On the 9th play of this drive, it's a 1st and 10 handoff to Melvin Gordon. With a shifty move, he meets Williamson and others as he gets inside the 20 and down to the Tennessee 18. Dan with a gain of 3.
Yeah, they're really looking for that draw play now. Williamson was almost acting as a spy that time. Gates came in, tried to put a block on him, but they clogged that thing up. Gordon to a short gain.
5 defensive backs.
Okay, yeah, load it. Load it up. 380!
You just saw where Gates was. Next gen stats, 2nd down, 7. Rivers to the end zone. Looking for Gates, who Dan had just spied. Spence and Stafford were defending. Incomplete.
That's a throwaway by Rivers, because Spence had perfect position, and he's also going to get help over the top from Damian Stafford. Watch a little hesitation here by Gates, but Spence doesn't go for it. And Rivers smartly throws it where nobody can catch it.
It's 3rd and 7.
White! Hey, space! Delta! Set!
And again he goes deep. This is caught by Gates. The spin, the drive, and he's down to the 2. Spence hit him once. Hit by Searcy. Stafford got him. 17-yard gain. First and goal, San Diego.
Well, here they are again. There's Gates and there's Spence. Spence claiming he was pushed off. Perhaps he was. Looked like he lost his balance there as Gates gets another reception.
First and goal. Gordon. Stuffed. Boy, he had all kinds of people in there. Byard is coming through. Searcy with a big-time hit in the middle. Not much room.
And also, Damian Stafford got in there, Kevin, and looked like he had a chance to rip that ball out. That was a stone wall there set up by the Titans.
Look at the day, Dan, for Gates at that tight end position.
He's remarkable.
He is indeed.
And he's going back in. They say, you can't come over here and rest. We need you.
13th play of the drive. Gordon digs and down inside the 1 on that second and goal at the 1. He was hit by a couple, including Woodyard.
You go back to that Denver game when they, within 2 minutes of the game and a chance to maybe tie the game up with a touchdown and a 2-pointer. The Chargers on 4 straight downs through incomplete passes. And there was some grumbling, especially led by Matt Slauson, about, hey, we could run the ball in there, especially with Gordon the day he had 111 yards.
A lot of tight ends. Watt is the fullback. Gordon in the slot. Third and goal. Rivers, look out! Here comes Casey coming through. Big time sack. 4th of the year. He is as good as it gets.
Yeah, but it's 3rd and 1, and you've been running the ball effectively, and now you go with a pass play?
21. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Oh, and a penalty.
Penalty. Denoris Searcy with the flag. First and goal, Chargers.
It was a penalties against the Chargers in the first half, Dan. That's a big one against Tennessee right there, which keeps it alive. First and goal. Huge.
You see the I formation with Derek Watt in front of Gordon.
That's J.J. Watt's younger brother. First and goal. Gordon behind Watt. A touchdown, and the Chargers have recaptured the lead on a 1-yard burst. Melvin Gordon.
Kind of makes you wonder why they didn't run that play on the previous play.
Seems like it, yeah. And then Searcy had that penalty called on him after that defense that did such valiant work.
Watch this blast play. Watt right in front of Gordon, and Gordon follows him perfectly. Watt veered to the left. Gordon just stayed right in his hip pocket and gets into the end zone. Smart running by Melvin Gordon.
But Dan, 2 Titan penalties on 3rd down kept that San Diego drive alive. The extra point is up. Lambeau makes it 26-21. Another lead change. Melvin Gordon has been as effective as any running back in pro football this year. He just finds pay dirt.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Hanes with Fresh IQ Advanced Odor Protection Technology. And by National Car Rental. Go national. Go like a pro.
The San Diego Chargers have scored on 5 of their 7 possessions. They get their first rushing touchdown right there. Rivers has thrown 2. Tobler is a rookie. He's out near the 30. A flag has been thrown on the play. A 37-yard return by Mariani out of Montana. He's had 1 kick return touchdown in his career, 2 punt return touchdowns. He's always a threat, and he's back with the Titans where he began. Tennessee at 4-4, San Diego at 3-5, both in the conversation in the AFC. Titans much closer to first than the Chargers. In the South, the Titans a game in back of idle Houston. So a win today would bring them a half game within first.
Illegal substitution, number 31 of the kicking team, came onto the field prior to the end of the play. That 5-yard penalty is administered from the end of the play It will be first down. Timeout.
With 5:22 to play in the third. Mike McCoy, gotten a lot of criticism this year, but his team is on top again by 5. Marcus Mariota has hit 12 of his last 15 after Danny began the game, 3 of 9. First and 10 here. DeMarco Murray. Well, they had some good penetration. That was by Flowers, who came from the corner. There is no gain on that first and 10 at the 35. Here's that penalty.
Yeah, this is Denoris Cersei lined up against Sean McGrath, a backup tight end who has 1 catch all year. And that was on third down. In fact, the Titans defense today have had 5 penalties, all of which that have resulted in Chargers first downs.
On that drive, there were 2 penalties, as we said before, in the Titans on third down. Kept it alive. You're right, Dan. Second and 10. Whoops, Bosa may be off. Murray gets the call and burrows his way up to about the 42-yard line, hit by a couple on the play, including Toomer. It's second down and 10 on that play, making it third down. Let's see what that penalty flag is all about. It's going to be on San Diego and going to be on Bosa, I believe.
Brad Allen asking Mike Mularkey what he wants to do here.
Offside.
Pretty clear.
Defense number 99 moved into the neutral zone prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
With NFL Mobile, stream live local Sunday afternoon primetime games and NFL Red Zone right on your mobile device. Learn more at NFL.com/mobile with Dan Fouts, the Hall of Famer. Kevin Harlan, Scott Kaplan on our sideline. Second and 5. Bosa again. We'll blow that dead. Mariota's got his number with his cadence.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
That's 11 penalties now against the Chargers. Back-to-back by Bosa will get him a seat. Maybe not all the way to the bench, but he'll be taken out of the game by defensive coordinator John Pagano. These are mental errors by the rookie Bosa.
Tenny Palapoy is coming and taking the place of Bosa, who's going to play some linebacker today and line. His first and 10. Good blocking again. Luan with the move. Oh, they're going to go deep this time, and it was incomplete. Boy, the coverage was there by Lowry. They were looking downfield for Matthews. Let's take you to CBS in New York.
Boomer, sweet play here.
I'll tell you what, Drew Brees is having what I like to call a Dan Fouts type of day. 26 of 35, 301 yards. This is the third touchdown pass of the day. 32 yards to Michael Thomas. Saints on top of the 49ers, 38-23.
And I'm sure Fauci can appreciate that. Back to Kevin Harlan.
Yeah, you know, Drew Brees was a Charger. We loved him here in San Diego.
Almost went to see Nick Saban in Miami. That was his first choice. He chose the Saints, and the rest is history. Second and 10. This is the running back, DeMarco Murray, the 7th leading rusher. Tripped up on the play by Corey Toomer. He's played for a handful of teams. A 13-yard run put him at the 42 of San Diego.
Well, he shows you what he's got here. First, it's a move on Hayward, and now it's the stiff arm on Toomer. And it's a first down into Charger territory now for the Titans. Toomer almost got away with a face mask, but couldn't reach it because of the stiff arm by Murray.
Muscle pull by Derrick Henry in pregame warm-ups, and so he's not playing. We've seen a lot. Oh, there's a Delaney Walker movement with the flag. False start.
False start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's almost a miracle Danny's out here. Their leading receiver, who is a game-time decision with the groin injury that was bad enough that kept him out of practice last couple days.
And by being out of practice, sometimes it does affect your concentration when you get into the game. Remember the first pass of the game?
Yep.
He dropped it.
Sure did.
It was a completion, and now he jumps off sides. He has had a good day, though, with 3 catches for 35 yards.
With the first and 15, Mariota got a block from DeMarco Murray and from Luan, and he finds the sideline, and he looks for a leaping Matthews and all kind of coverage over there, including from Casey Hayward, who's got an interception of Mariota today. Second and 15.
That's a great job by Mariota getting out of the pocket against the blitz of San Diego. He knew that because of the blitz, he had man-to-man on his receivers. That ball should have been caught. by Rashard Matthews, thrown a little bit high on the sidelines. It's questionable whether he would have come down inbounds or not. But a good move by Mariota.
Bosa's still out of the game. He was offsides, and they yanked him. 2nd and 15. 2 tight ends. Pistol. First time we've seen the pistol today. Mariota, the pump and the drive, and then he was, look at the fumble right here, and it's picked up on the bounce, and there he goes, Lowry all the way to the house. What a play! Chargers build on their lead. 41-yard fumble return touchdown. Dwight Lowry.
Well, Melvin Ingram makes the big play on Mariota. This is Mariota's 7th fumble of the year, the 4th time he's lost one, and this will cost the Titans 6 points. Watch the hit here by Ingram, right to the side of the head of Mariota. The ball comes out, and a good bounce. 2 good bounces for Lowry. It's going to be an option play. Looked like Mariota was trying to pitch it at the last minute.
Toomer was the one to get it, and then on that bounce, you're right, Dan. What a play, huh? Ingram knocked it free. Toomer grabbed it and lost it. And then Lowry returns it for the touchdown. But Lowry has some experience against Tennessee with the extra point through. Lowry last year played for the Indianapolis Colts. He had 2 interceptions, including a 69-yard interception return for a touchdown. Here he vacuums one in, takes it 41 yards to the house.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Kay Jewelers. For 100 years, every kiss begins with K. And by Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
The Jets are flying at Miramar. The Jets are flying inside the stadium today. And the Chargers have built upon their lead with their 3rd defensive touchdown of the season. Mariani will leave it in the end zone. Out to the 25. So look at Marcus Mariota. Got a couple turnovers in this game for Tennessee. Corey Toomer had a forced fumble last week at the San Diego 1 in Denver. Just scooped up the ball, but when he lost, knocked it free. Lowry takes it the other way. Mariani left it in the end zone, so to the 25, 1st and 10. Here comes DeMarco Murray, swerving and looking for room, and there's none to be found, and Liggett, there's one there to make the stop.
But here's Corey Toomer right here. Watch his right hand. He's going to put it right on the ball here and knocks it loose. Ingram with the tackle, but it was Toomer who knocked the ball out. And then he smartly, I don't know if he pushed it forward or not, but he knew he had help coming, and Lowry scoops it up and scores with it.
He was signed in September off the Oakland practice squad. He was a 5th-round pick by Seattle. 2nd and 7. DeMarco Murray. Good break of a tackle inside of Mebane in his attempt, and then he is finally swarmed under. Melvin Ingram, part of the defense that makes the stop. It is a gain of 6. They'll take it out to the Tennessee 34.
Tennessee trying to get back to their identity with the power running game led by DeMarco Murray. They ran one option today, and it turned out to be a disaster because of the forced fumble by Corey Toomer.
Five in the secondary. Bosa is in on that 3rd and 1. Disruptive as was Flowers, who makes the stop. In fact, the loss of about a yard back to the 33. Here comes the punting unit.
Now Flowers does a great job of beating a block of Kendall Wright. Here's Flowers. Wright is going to come in from the outside here. And Flowers goes to the inside and just gets Murray before he can get started. Tremendous play by the 5'9", 187-pounder Flowers.
Kern will punt. The wind has died. Burse is back. Time of 5 seconds, and that means there's going to be all kinds of traffic down there including Valentino Blake, the former Antoine Blake, makes the stop. A 45-yard punt with terrific hang. Week 9 continues with Sunday Night Football on NBC and Monday Night Football on ESPN and Westwood One Radio. Then, Week 10 kicks off with a Thursday Night Football game on NFL Network. Here's Bosa. Boy, has he been disruptive.
Yeah, for his own team there that last series.
Yes, he was.
2 offside penalties back to back.
Gordon on 1st and 10. Nice block by Pulley inside. And that only produces 2. Looked like he may be able to get more. Byard was in there. He's been tackling well today. That'll be the final play of the third quarter. The gain was out to about the 24 and a gain of 2. It's the Titans at 4-4. The Chargers at 3-5 on CBS. We're going to start the fourth quarter. The Chargers lead at 33-21, but Dan, this has been a familiar position for them this year, and the results have not been that good as Franklin will head to the locker room.
Well, they've held the lead in the fourth quarter 3 different times and have failed to hold it. They lost to Kansas City, Indianapolis, and New Orleans, and now they find themselves with the 33-21 lead.
And close games. 7 of the Chargers' 8 games this season have been decided by 8 points or less. That's the second most in the NFL. They got some breathing space now. San Diego initially led it 16-0. Tennessee came back to take a 2-point lead. Got a defensive touchdown, a Gordon touchdown run. That brings us to the start of the fourth. 2nd down, 8. Fake to Gordon, quick slant, caught right there. Williams brought down by McCourty. It's a quick hitter for 10. They're out to the 34 of the Chargers and a 1st down.
And this is what was so effective for the Chargers earlier in the game. A little play-action fake and then a slant route. McCourty had great coverage on Williams that time, but where Rivers put the ball, McCourty had no shot at knocking it down.
5 in the secondary. 1st and 10. Melvin Gordon wrapped up and brought down. Quan Jones. It's only a gain of 2. Dan out to the 36. Byard with a hand in 2.
Chargers had a huge first half offensively, but so far in the second half, just 72 yards, 14 rushing, and 58 passing. The Titans have made the adjustments at halftime, and they'll challenge Rivers now on 2nd and long.
So Franklin is out, the left guard. Spencer Pulley, a rookie free agent from Vanderbilt, who grew up in Memphis, is in there for San Diego.
We're orange on. Delta!
2nd down, 8. Outside, incomplete, too high, looking for Inman. Coverage by McCain.
And again, pressure, big time pressure on Rivers. Inman had something going there on the outside, but Rivers just didn't have time to give him a catchable ball.
When Rivers is out there yelling that cadence, when he says Delta, that must be like the Manning Omaha, right?
I think you're absolutely right. It alerts everybody that the next thing is the ball's going to be snapped.
Well, they charter with Delta, so I guess that's why they use it.
Hey, hot! Hey, Key! Double dive! Dive! Orange! Delta!
3rd and 8. Again the slant. Again they're beaten. They go inside right here. The tackle was made by McCourty. They hit the receiver, Dontrell Inman. He picks up 6 on 3rd and 8. Making it 4th and 2. They're going to be shy.
Well, that's what the Tennessee Titans wanted to have happen. That was a side adjustment against the blitz here. Blitz the quarterback, make him throw hot, and then make the tackle on the slant route. Exactly what Dick LeBeau had in mind.
LeBeau, Mike Mularkey, and Wisenhunt were all on the Pittsburgh staff. I mean, there's a lot of back and forth with these two franchises. Here's a punt. It's Kaiser. Mariani is back. He'll let it go into the end zone. The Chargers have 10 points off 2 Titan turnovers after the 58-yard punt. 12:50 coming up in the fourth. Tuesday, America votes for president, and CBS News is your place for results. Award-winning original reporting, expert analysis, live nationwide. Morning, evening, primetime, election day, Tuesday, only CBS. Kevin Harlan, Hall of Famer Dan Fouts, Scott Kaplan on the sideline. Look at the two top rushers in this game, 2 of the top 10 in the league.
And who would have predicted that Murray would have such a poor number so far?
First and 10 Walker. Redwell Flowers, who has had a whale of a game in the secondary for San Diego. No gain on the play. They stay at the 20, Dan.
Yeah, got to give the Charger defense a lot of credit. You know, coming into the game, they were averaging giving up just 86 yards a game on the ground. And today, they're right about that number.
Mariota, 16 of 27, 180. 2 touchdowns and a pick. Second down 11. Here comes Bosa pushing the pocket across the middle. They go. That will be hauled in by Rashard Matthews. He's got a couple touchdowns today. Hit by a couple, including Toomer and Trevor Williams. And a gain of 10. They take it out to the 28.
Yeah, this is smart. Going right to the line of scrimmage now on this 3rd and short.
3rd and 1. Quick hitter, caught by Wright. He's off to the races, chased by Lowry, chased by Hayward, wrestling him out of bounds inside the 24.
Well, they had all kinds of problems converting 3rd and shorts, so they faked the ball to Murray and hit the slant route to Wright, and good job by the Chargers not allowing Wright to get all the way to the end zone. Hayward coming back and Lowry.
First down and 10, Mariota playing with urgency. Delaney Walker. Little hand-to-hand combat there with Adrian Phillips, who is back in, missed some time. And Phillips makes the stop. It was a gain down to the 17. Dan, they pick up 7 on the play. And a flag was thrown, I see.
Yeah, ineligible receiver downfield. Or it's 12 men on the field against San Diego is going to be the call. Another crucial mistake here. That'll give the Titans free yardage.
12 players on the field on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. It remains first down.
Dan, we have so many sub packages now in the NFL. The rotation by these defensive coordinators. I mean, it is back and forth all the time.
Well, poor hustle there by Brandon Mebane, not getting off the field in time. Mariota snapping the ball before he could get to the sideline.
The defensive coordinator, John Pagano, has the number 18 defense coming into today. 1st and 5. 5 defensive backs for San Diego. Outside they go for Murray. Good beat on it across the way. Corey Toomer. He was a 5th-round pick by Seattle. He's played for Dallas, St. Louis, and the Raiders. No gain on the play. They'll stay at about the 18.
Well, he may have found a home for the Chargers.
Yep.
That was an excellent tackle.
Second and 5. He was looking downfield for Sharp. He was down there with Trevor Williams. He was signed off the practice squad in early October, and he's played in the last 4 games in the secondary for San Diego's D.
And he had great coverage that time. There was no place for Mariota to squeeze that ball in. Just 1 of 6 in the second today for the, actually now 2 of 7 converting 3rd downs for the Titans.
3rd and 5. Jones the snap, they come around the side. It's off to Murray. He's trying to get out to the races, and a good open field tackle made by the rookie free agent out of Penn State, Trevor Williams, in the secondary. He gains 10 on 3rd and 5. They've got it 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
Well, watch Melvin Gordon come around the corner, and Taylor Lewan is going to get just enough of him. He hits Mariota in the top of the hat. And Murray makes the catch and sets the Titans up in great position.
Murray's got 4 catches today. 1st and goal, 8. Mariota touchdown. Caught by Delaney Walker. He threads one inside. They beat Williams. 8-yard touchdown pass. And again, the Titans back in business.
You talked about throwing in a thicket before.
Yeah.
There's a red zone thicket for you. How does he squeeze this one in? Walker on the outside. And watch how small this window is. Powder blue jerseys all around, the ball right on target, and another touchdown pass for Marcus Mariota and Delaney Walker.
Suck up with the extra point. Under 10 to play here in the fourth. We knew it would be close. Two teams resemble each other in a lot of ways. What a 7-play, 80-yard drive that was. Under 3 minutes it took.
That's the key, under 3 minutes. A lot of time left in the game.
Suck up. Marcus Mariota has thrown 3 touchdown passes today. Here he is, his top receiver, tight end Delaney Walker.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Citi Double Cash Card. Intel. Upgrade to a new PC with powerful performance. And by Lowe's. Make your home happy.
USS Midway. Dan and Jerry Fouts with a kiss there on the pier.
Take it anyway.
Yeah, I know it. You've always been that way. You have no shit. Let's go on to the 25 for a 1st and 10 for Rivers and that San Diego offense. And Saturday, the SEC on CBS with an important doubleheader. First, the South Carolina Gamecocks take on Florida. That's in the Swamp. Then the Auburn Tigers and the Georgia Bulldogs between the hedges. It's all Saturday right here on CBS Sports. Lead has been chopped. After a 16-0 San Diego lead, the Titans came back to lead Dan 21-19. Chargers went up 33-21. Now it's a 5-point game.
Mariota bouncing back nicely after the fumble that Chargers took in for a score.
False start.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's a season-high 13 penalties against the San Diego Chargers as Pulley continues to take the place of the injured Orlando Franklin.
Yeah, the rookie started too soon that time, and terrible way to start a drive after your opponent has gone down and made it a ball game with that touchdown to Delaney Walker.
He's Tennessee through and through. He played his college ball at Vanderbilt. He's from Memphis. He's a rookie free agent. He's got his hands full now going up against Carl Klug, 1st and 15. Gordon was not expecting it. Boy, he got a good block from Fluker. He's getting a good block from Whalen, and he gets a first down on what looked to be a busted play. Tackled by McCain, 16-yard romp, and they'll put him at about the 36.
Yeah, Fluker did a nice job on Angelo Blackson, but it was a strange handoff here. Almost a fumble there in the backfield. Great job by Gordon. Get that first down. 15 big yards.
How about his rushing today? 130 on the ground. 130 of the 138.
Well, he went against Denver last week for 111. Something Denver never gives up is 100 yards on the ground to anybody.
1st and 10, Gordon. With a stop made by Parrish Cox and a gain of 3. He's up to the 38 to Scott Kaplan.
Kevin, update from the San Diego sideline. 6th-year offensive lineman guard Orlando Franklin from the Chargers is in the locker room. He is in concussion protocol right now. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you. 2nd down and 7. Thus, Spencer Pulley is in there. It was the offensive line a year ago that was just decimated by injury for the Chargers.
Yeah, no question about it. Just a really strange bad luck for the Chargers for injuries throughout their offensive team and also now their defense.
Nickel secondary.
Hey, hot! Set! Hey, monster bomb on! Monster bomb on! Delta! Set!
2nd down, 7. Screen pass. Look at Gordon. Look at him fly. Stiff arms his way into the defense of Stafford. Downfield, short pass, big gain. 35-yard catch and run to the 27 of the Titans.
Well, it's his longest pass reception of his young career. It's a beautifully designed screen pass as Rivers invites the rush to him. dumps it over the top, then out in front, gets away from Williamson, and then turns on the Jets.
And that's half the play, right? He kind of makes himself the focus, then dumps it off at the last second. And Rivers knows he's going to get hit, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he likes to get hit. It's amazing.
Farrell is in. And the handoff on 1st and 10. Hit there by a couple, McCourty and Byard. Allowing only a gain of 3. They get down to the 24-yard line of the Titans.
You always got to be concerned with a rookie running back in this pressure type of situation now. Farrell, free agent out of Houston. Good job of securing that ball and not stretching out for extra yardage and exposing it where he might get it knocked away.
If they can hold him here to a field goal, it is still a one-possession game. Sun in front of the Tennessee defense right now. 2nd down and 7. Farrell remains, the fake and the block. And he's looking into double coverage downfield with the intended receiver, Dontrell Inman, drawing a lot of attention downfield, including from Byard.
And Jason McCourty with great position did not allow Inman to get to the corner and make that catch.
McCourty, a veteran. Here's the 3rd and 7 coming up. And Gordon is back in. Good block by Pulley. Tackle was made by Avery Williamson. He's close to a 1st down. He's at the 17, picks up 6 on 3rd and 7. And now Mike McCoy's got a 4th and 1. Interesting call here, Dan. 4th and 1.
As well as Gordon is running the ball, you'd be real tempted to keep the offense out there, and I think that's a good decision here.
Boy, if you make the 1st down, you can run some time off that clock too, can't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And a field goal, like you said, keeps it a one-score game because of that missed extra point by Lambeau on the first series, the first touchdown of the day.
This is a pretty important play coming up.
Well, they're going to make sure they got the right play. McCoy calls timeout from the sideline as the play clock running way down.
It is the first San Diego timeout. Tennessee has all 3 of theirs.
Pretty good run here on 2nd down by Melvin Gordon. Good job by Pulley taking care of Klug there and opening up that hole and bringing up this decision.
Well, as we've told you, Houston is idle today, Dan.
And here comes the field goal team.
You're
This
right.
is not going to make the fans happy. But a touchdown and 2-point conversions are not automatic, obviously. In fact, Tennessee is 0 for 3 on 2-point conversions this season.
So San Diego is trying to stay in the mix in the West with 3 6-2 teams above them. Houston being idle. If Tennessee would win this one, they'd be within a half game. They're a game out coming into today. This is a 36-yard field goal. Pretty important score. Up away it goes and in from 36. It is hit by Josh Lambeau. And the lead is extended with 6:05 to play in the 4th in San Diego on CBS. Dan Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator, and the Tennessee defense do their job again, holding the Chargers out of the end zone and have them settle for 3 in the red zone.
And because of how hot their offense has been, that's huge, trailing now just by 8.
They're the touchback in a 1st and 10, and here's Marcus Mariota, who has thrown 3 touchdown passes today. Dan, they've had 4 red zone possessions. They've got 4 touchdowns, do the Titans.
Well, and the key was on the last drive was 3rd down conversions. Mariota on a 3rd and 1 hit Kimball Wright for 48 yards. Then the big one was that 3rd and 5 when he hit DeMarco Murray for 10 yards to set up the touchdown pass on the next play.
6 defensive backs, 1st and 10. DeMarco Murray will get the fake with Mariota taking it on the other side. With a stop there by Dwight Lowry on a gain of 2. Mariota takes it to the 27.
That was well played by San Diego. You don't want to let him pitch the ball and get the big gainer on the outside. Take the short gainer, make Mariota keep the ball on the inside.
2nd down, 8. Buys some time with his feet and chased by Legion. They The throw down the sideline for Murray. The coverage by Lowry. It is only a gain of 2. It'll be at the 28 of the Titans.
That brings up another third down. That's 5 catches for Murray. Came in as the second leading receiver for the Titans.
And Murray on the ground, 37 yards, rushing. With the NFL's second leading rusher. 3rd and 6. Schwenke the block. Oh, it's picked off! Flowers! There he goes! Touchdown! A second defensive touchdown for San Diego.
Now this was clean as it could be. A pickoff and a pick 6 for Brandon Flowers. He's done it 3 other times in his NFL career, but he read the out route. Mariota throwing the ball on time, but Flowers cuts in front of the receiver, and he's not going to get caught from behind. Kendall Wright on the out route. Flowers read it perfectly, and he has every right to high step and celebrate.
He came from division rival Kansas City as a free agent back in 2014. Had been struggling last year. In his first year with the Chargers, has tightened the screws. Extra point is up and in, and it's 43-28. Brandon Flowers off of concussion protocol and takes it all the way.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by Subway. Try the new Autumn Carve Turkey Sandwich today.
Chargers today, Dan, 17 points off of 3 Tennessee Titan turnovers. This saw Flowers return.
Interesting afternoon for Mariota. The good and the bad. This 14-yard touchdown to start the second half, and then the fumble recovered by Lowry. Takes it back 36 for the score. Then he drives the Titans back down and hits Delaney Walker for an 8-yard touchdown. And then this pick 6 by Brandon Flowers. Second time this season that Mariota has thrown an interception that's resulted in a touchdown. And he's also thrown 3 touchdown passes of his own to his own teammates. Ups and downs, good and bad.
Mariota first down and 10. He goes underneath. There's Murray. He was stopped initially by Dexter McCoyle, and in fact only limited to a gain of 2 out to the 27.
It's desperation time now, trailing by 15. They have 3 timeouts and a long way to go to get back in this one.
A lot of defensive backs to throw into. 2, 2nd and 8. There he goes. He found the gap, and that's Harry Douglas. The ex-Falcon breaking 1 tackle on the play of McCoyle. Chased out of bounds on the near side as he works to the 46. 27-yard catch and run, first down.
Really a veteran move by Douglas because it's under 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. Getting out of bounds stops the clock, saves the timeout.
Douglas has been inactive the last 5 games.
He's a 9-year veteran, has 300 catches in his career.
Only had 4 catches coming into today this season. With the 1st and 10. Here comes Palapoy. There goes the throw, and it's incomplete, looking for Sharp in the coverage by Trevor Williams.
It was Palapoy's pressure that caused that incompletion, or that was a touchdown. Because Tajay Sharp was behind the defense and would have walked into the end zone, but this pressure by 95, Palapoy coming around from his tackle spot, beating Conklin, caused that incompletion.
Palapoy had a couple of pressures last week and hits in Denver. He had a second good game.
Yeah, recovered a fumble there.
Yes, he sure did. 2nd and 10. They block Bosa. He goes outside, high and uncatchable for the rookie Tajay Sharp. Coverage, Trevor Williams.
Now, sometimes as a young quarterback, after you've been victimized by a pick 6, you get a little nervous about throwing one in there, and that time, again, he had his receiver, and the pressure wasn't all that much on him. And It was way off target.
It's 3rd down and 10 with a crumbling pocket and a throw, and he's got it. Nice catch. Williams was covering. Matthews makes the grab. He's also caught a couple touchdowns today. You see the flag, 14-yard pickup down to the 32.
Pass interference, defense number 42. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
Now check out number 42. That is Williams, and he does get to Richard Matthews early. Tremendous catch by Matthews.
1st and 10. Going deep, looking for Sharp. Coverage by Williams. There's contact. There's no yellow. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
It's a good bounce back by Trevor Williams, making sure that Sharp can't get to that ball. A good job of using the sidelines, cutting down the room that Mariota could slide that one in.
Sharp was a terrific receiver at UMass last year, led all of college football in receptions. A rookie, 5th-round pick, 111. All-time receiver at UMass, 2nd down and 10. Underneath, caught by Matthews, and quickly hit there by Casey Hayward. That's a gain of 9. They're down to the 23 of the Chargers, close to a 1st down.
And the Chargers will give up those short passes because the clock still rolls.
Third down and 1. Six in the secondary, DeMarco Murray. Nice block there from Schwenke, taking the place of Spain. Look at him, corkscrew for the 1st down to the 10. Nice run by Murray. Sheer guts, 13-yard pickup.
Yeah, Corey Toomer had him about 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and it looked like Toomer was just trying to tackle the ball.
It's 1st and goal from the 10. There's the whistle.
Chargers call timeout.
They want to get some new defensive personnel out there.
Well, look at all of them standing there, walking slowly, hands on hips. Smart timeout by San Diego.
They're down to 1. Tennessee's got 3. Our 4th quarter clock at 3:03. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 minutes in the presidential election, plus what's being done about the Zika virus in America, followed by all new episodes of NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary, and Elementary. That's tonight, only CBS 2nd and goal.
Now you go back to those 4th quarter blown leads by the Chargers. 3 times it's happened this year. Titans trying to make it 4 times.
I misspoke. 1st and goal still. They called the timeout on the 1st and goal before. 1st and goal, 9th play of the drive. Good block by Lewan. Over that side and Murray. Get out of bounds on the play by Trevor Williams. He gets as far as the 7, gain of 3.
Then the clock stops by Murray going out of bounds. This is where the Chargers have got to keep their eye on number 82, Delaney Walker.
They send out Murray, 2nd and goal at the 7. And you just saw where Walker, now he's in motion. They're going to float one up for the rookie. Nice defensive play, but there's a flag. And it goes on Casey Hayward. Almost looked like it ricocheted off his helmet.
Well, he looked like he was in really good position there.
Pass interference, defense number 26. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball is placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic 1st down.
Yeah, he did make contact just before the ball got there. Right there, you can see him shoving into the body of Sharp. And Sharp grabbing the face mask. Does not get called for that.
Now they've only got 3 defensive backs out there. 1st and goal at the 1. Jolston Fowler, the block. The fullback out of Alabama. There goes Murray, bouncing outside and walking in for the 1-yard touchdown run for Tennessee.
That's an unbelievable effort by DeMarco Murray.
One of many we've seen.
Totally stoned at the line of scrimmage. But watch his legs. as he comes up here and then bounces it all the way around. Never gives up, never quits on the play, and doesn't go down. Grabbing the ball, keeping it from the Chargers, and then, as you said, walking in for another touchdown. Tremendous effort by DeMarco Murray.
Murray has his 7th rushing touchdown this season. He's got 9, which is amongst the most of any individual player in the National Football League this year. With the extra point here from Suckup. Kern with the hole. Brinkley with the snap. It's 43-35 with 2:45 to go. There's no benefit of his backup, Derrick Henry. Pulled a muscle in pregame. It's been a lot of the highly touted DeMarco Murray today. One of the top rushers in the NFL, and he's been catching balls out of the backfield too.
And because the Tennessee Titans have all 3 of their timeouts and a 2-minute warning to essentially stop the clock 4 times, no need for an onside kick here.
Well, that's good because Suckup is 1 of 19 an onside kick in his career.
That's not a good stat.
No.
1 of 19.
Yeah.
Well, you're deep in that playbook, in that record book, aren't you?
I've got some.
But, you know, that is important, and I would like to see a kickoff here that does not go all the way through the end zone, that forces the Chargers to return, because the Chargers are looking for the onside kick. They have 10 guys within, 15 yards of the football, and only 1 return man back at the 20-yard line, and that's Isaiah Burse, the guy that just joined the team.
It is a 1-score game, and Tennessee has 4 stoppages, 3 timeouts, and the 2-minute warning. Chargers are down to 1 timeout, but they want to see that clock roll. Let's see what Ryan Suckup does here. Deep boot. It'll go over the head of Hurst and trickle out of the end zone and go to the 25, and a touchback with the 1st and 10 for Rivers at the timeout in an 8-point lead.
I disagree so much with that kickoff into the end zone. You give the Chargers the ball at the 25. Chargers had no chance to return that ball the way they were lined up. Burse was at the 20-yard line. He would have to go back to get the ball inside the 5 or the 10 if you just bloop it down there. And now the Chargers get all that yardage, and they feel more confident because of that. When you're backed up deep in your own end, you get a little nervous, Kevin.
Well, you don't want to bloop it either. Fullback and a couple tight ends. 1st and 10. Melvin Gordon. It was a good hit. Hitting from the secondary and the linebacking core. Hit right there by Spence.
Yeah, Sean Spence has had a heck of an afternoon.
So here's what's happened today. 17 points off turnovers, 2 defensive touchdowns, a pick 6 and a fumble return for a touchdown as Gordon hobbles off the field. The running back for San Diego has been so important today. He's rushed for 138. He's caught 4 passes for 65. And they bring in Kenneth Farrell, the rookie free agent from Houston again. Looks like maybe my spotter Quinn Brennan telling me his ankle.
Well, and you think about the Chargers losing Dexter McCluster on Saturday. You can see he stepped on his own man there. And maybe he twisted that right ankle.
Chargers today, some red zone struggles. 2nd down and 10. Watt is the fullback. Farrell. That's upfield. On time of the play by Derek Morgan, a former number 1 pick out of Georgia Tech. He's limited to a gain of 3, and Danny's up to the 28.
The Titans electing not to use a timeout just yet. They know they have that, and they have used the timeout. It took them a while to get it, though. A few seconds went off the clock, valuable seconds.
Each team with 1. And we've got the 2-minute warning looming. And here comes Gordon. I don't know if it was a cramp or the ankle, but it looked like he turned his right ankle in that last play. He had it.
Yeah, he is a tough young man and has really matured in this 2nd year. Primary back, all 3 downs he plays. He's had a huge day today, and the Chargers desperately need him here on this 3rd and 7. Chargers just 3 of 9 converting 3rd downs this afternoon.
4 defensive backs. 3rd and 7 handoff. This is Gordon. Spurting free. Breaking tackles. He's amazing. Galloping his way deep in the secondary. McCourty can't get him, and he hits the chalk at the 25. That was sensational. 47-yard run.
That's a ball game clinching winning run right there. How many tackles did he break? Right there, there's one, there's two. And both those guys were defensive backs. And Gordon just overpowered them.
In what was the longest run allowed by this Titan defense this season, the second-year running back out of Wisconsin, Melvin Gordon. A 47-yard run and a timeout taken by San Diego. They've used their final one.
San Diego, their third and final. It will be 30 seconds.
Boy, that is really puzzling. I'm not sure why you would call timeout here if you're San Diego. Rivers was ready to snap the ball. He had the play he wanted. And now you really give life to Tennessee. They've had trouble turning the ball over, taking the ball away from their opponents. Play clock was running down. But
Sure was.
let it run down. Take the 5-yard penalty.
The Tennessee Titans are 4-4 coming in. A game back of first place in idle Houston.
But you know, that happens a lot after a long run or a long pass.
Yep. With the 1st and 10 and a couple tight ends in, it's Gordon again who carves out another couple. He picks up 3. He's run for 188.
That's over 100 yards more than the Titans as a team give up rushing on average this season.
Good note. Yep, they average an opponent's offensive running game 55 yards. That's number 1 in the NFL. You're right, Tim. So you're right. They've not been able to stop him today. Gordon is a different back, though. We talked about it earlier in the game. Had the very disappointing rookie season. Did not score a touchdown. So he met with Adrian Peterson. They trained in Houston this past offseason. He wears his number as a tribute to the guy he's idolized, and he has completely turned around his career in 1 year time. In his second season, he has been a star.
Did not score a touchdown at all last season. Really matured nicely.
It's a 2nd and 7. Here he goes again. Bursting down to the 10. They get the 15-yard line and about a gain of 8 on the play. Let's see what that gets him. He's inside the 16. He's shy of the first down by about a half yard, which will take us to the 2-minute warning. There are no timeouts remaining, and the Chargers lead it on CBS. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes in the presidential election, followed by all new episodes of NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary and Elementary. That's tonight, only CBS. No timeouts. 3rd down and 1 for the San Diego Chargers. Rivers, Gordon kicking and poking his way with a Woodyard tackle and a gain of 2 and a 1st down achieved to the 14-yard line of the Tennessee Titans. And a disappointed Marcus Mariota.
That's victory formation time now for San Diego as Tennessee cannot stop the clock, and the Chargers are going to hold on to a 4th quarter lead. They had blown 3 of them in their 5 losses so far this year. High fives all around.
The Chargers will win their 3rd game in the last 4. After beginning the season 1-4, they'll go to 4-5. Trying to keep pace in the toughest division in pro football, the AFC West, where you've got 3 6-2 teams. And for the Tennessee Titans, they've fallen back a game and a half now of idle Houston. They had won 3 of 4 coming in. A pick 6 by Flowers. They had Dwight Lowry vacuum in a loose ball and race the other way, and a fumble recovery touchdown run, 41 yards. And the quarterback, Phillip Rivers, with a couple of touchdown passes, 1 to Gates, 1 to Williams. And a big win for the Chargers on the doorstep of what is one of the biggest decision days here, with Election Day coming in for a chance to perhaps build a new stadium in San Diego, the election on Tuesday, and hoping for the best. The Charger offense, 476 yards. No turnovers, 1 sack allowed in 36.5 minutes, with a 196 rushing yard attempt by Melvin Gordon. Mariota, 27 of 43, 313, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks, and Rivers 275 with 24 of 33 through the air. Tonight, CBS 60 Minutes, followed by NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary, and Elementary. For Dan Fouts and Scott Kaplan, Kevin Harlan saying so long from San Diego. The Chargers win it. You've been watching the National Football League on CBS.